Welcome everybody. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. This is Ghost Gen 3. Hey, I haven't made a video in a bit. Been busy. Out of the country having a little fun, that kind of stuff. Anyways, a little work here and there. Anyways, what I want to show you today is my 55-gallon drums. I apologize. I wish my camera girl was here today, but I'm going to do my best to show you how to kind of clean these out. Trust me, I'm no expert in this. I do like keeping my extra spare water for my animals, myself, any of my family and my chosen crew and stuff, that friends and family, that we have any emergencies, earthquakes, you name it, that we know we have spare water. Obviously this 55-gallon drum, I've done the math, it's going to be pretty much about 400 gallons of water. So where are you going to store it? Unless you keep it on wheels, you're not going to be able to take it with you. If you can, awesome. Some of you guys have great layouts where you can take stuff. But obviously this is for more that get to stay home in my castle, one of my homes, and then spare water, you know. So recently I picked up 3 more. So I have 55 gallons, I'm sorry, and which I'm pretty happy about that. Got them free, you know. So like I said, I'm not expert. I know about these kind of stuff, had them for a bit. I've done it before, but thought I'd share my knowledge with you. It's not a great bit of knowledge. I've done my research. I can help some of you new survivalists or any preppers or anybody else that wants to just have water, which is a smart thing. Spare for emergencies. So there's a lot of good videos out there and information. I even did research on the CDC website, you know, on water and all that. Although most of the information is basic. But anyways, let's get to this. So I want to show you guys something. Obviously you guys know what a 55-gallon drum is. There's different colors. The little I know about them, I've done research. When you get some, or one or whatever, hopefully more, they have very different prices. God, I've seen them up to $60 to $100. You know, I've seen them also for $15, $20 each. Once in a while, $10 on sale. Go on eBay or Amazon, or eBay's actually I've seen it, but even other Craigslist, that kind of stuff. You know, look in there, and also be aware. What I want to tell you is what's actually stored in these. The ones I bought, they had animal shampoo for dogs. So that's cool. I'm pretty safe with that, you know. And I'm washing them out. It had a nice, pretty smell in it. It's like any type of shampoo. But that's what they were storing in the ones I got. And others I've had, it was pretty much the same thing. I call up the company. They want to get rid of them. So they give a good low price or something like that. So that's pretty good. I can deal with that. There's some, I have a friend, they have barbecue sauce in his. I don't know how long it took him to get that smell out of there and the taste, but I'm sure it took a while. What I've done is I put some Tide in here. It varies. People put different stuff, shampoos. This already has shampoo, dog shampoo, so I'm going to show you the sprayer and everything I'm using, but God, it just takes a bit, and I'm doing this by myself, so I think it's kind of good in a way. I wanted to have my buddy here also to help me, so if you can have a second person, awesome, but if not, then at least you get to see how I do it alone. Kind of ideas. You guys have ideas, please comment and post. I'm always learning myself. And there's always more than one way to do things. So I'm going to show you how I wash them out and put them on a table here, and it kind of makes it easier because, you know, I could lift these 55-gallon, I'll show you, but when they're empty. But, you know, for some of you, you know, I'm not Mr. Superman, but these things are not light, but they're not heavy. But when they're empty, you know, yeah, you could probably lift it, but, you know, some of you may have back problems or anything else. Anyways, right here in the holes, or actually the holes right here, there's 2. And I'm going to try to zoom in here for you guys. And I'm going to kind of give you a little terminology and stuff so you guys kind of know. Let me pull this up. I'm cleaning these right now. These are your caps, so to speak. They're called, I'm going to show you a wrench here. They're called bungs. B-U-N-G. I know, it's weird. Trust me, terminology is new to me too. And this is what they look like. So you can see the weird configuration here, kind of across. Trust me, I try to make my own little tool, but I needed to go buy one of these bung wrenches. I'm going to show you what it is. And they go, I've seen them on eBay. They go everything from $8 to $11 is what I paid just at a store, so I could get it right now. So these 2 basic will go. Sometimes you'll see a little difference here. Let me see if I get the other one. On the threading, there we go. So basic what you're going to have is, see this small threading? It's thinner, I should say. And yet the top is pretty much the same, right? A little bit. And see the threading here, it's thicker. So one will be on one of the openings, and the other one will be the other. Apparently you can actually punch out one of these right here, and you can actually put a filter. Now if you want to put a filter like I'm going to eventually, and I'll do a separate video because I don't have mine yet, is there's different ones out there. Is you take this cap off, you unscrew it, and then you put the whole filter in that hole. But see in here, you can see there's also more of these here. This thinner one right here. There we go. In here. Hope you guys can see that. So like I said, I've seen somebody on a YouTube video and on the net, and they went out and got a spigot. You can knock that out here in the center, punch it out, and then they put a spigot there, and then put this back on the drum itself. There's different sizes, 55 gallon, 35. But anyway, so just so you guys know, because I'm learning some of this myself. I've known it, but trust me, I'm no expert on it. This one, the wider one right here, also has the same the same screw-in area right here as well. So just so you guys know. Now let me show you something that I needed to get, because I had a homemade one. This is called a bung wrench. And there's different colors and different ones, but they pretty much fit them. Trust me, you cannot, once these things are tight on your barrel, God, you can't take them off. You need a wrench or something. If you guys, some of you guys out there creative can make them, awesome. Save yourself about 10, 12, 13 bucks. So this is what the wrench looks like. I went and bought this thing. So I'm going to show you how it fits. This thing's about like 9 inches long. It even has this. I haven't figured out what that's for. Obviously not for mine, but maybe for something else or another kind. Obviously. This is the main one right here. This right here, by the way, you can use, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but if what I was told, your gas main or something like that at home, turn it on and off, so for emergencies. But the main thing obviously this is for, is obviously for this. So watch. Basically this goes in here. See how it fits? And I'll get to the barrel right now. Eventually I'll show you. So that's all you're going to do is turn counterclockwise, clockwise to get them on and off. So that's what this is for. So you're going to need something like this. Make your own if you can. I mean, I know there's a lot of creative guys out there, and you guys have tools to do it. I don't. So for those of us that don't, this is what you're going to need. If you're going to have these 55 gallons or similar, and you got these babies on there, these caps, you're going to need this bung, B-U-N-G wrench, and that'll take it on and off. Okay, so like I said, some of you starters, I'm no expert, but you know, some of the stuff I'm learning, some of the stuff I already know, but it's kind of nice to share and somebody, you know, get to know what the heck you're doing. So you don't buy the barrel, then you're like, how the hell do I take them off? Trust me, I've tried other tools I have, and be careful, I almost cut myself. I mean, screwdriver this way, caveman style, but sometimes that works. But anyways, now you guys know, this is a bung wrench. Very light, composite type material, some kind of polymer. It'll last me, I'll be dead and this thing will still be around. So, alright, so let's get to the cleaning part. I'm cleaning these right now, because obviously these have the shampoo, so I have them in a bucket and I have some Tide in there. I'm just letting them sit in there, and I'm going to scrub them down later on. So you guys may want to do the same. Don't forget to clean these too, because you want it. You're going to have your clean water in there. All right, let's get that out of the way. Now to get the water, let me show you this. This is from One Magazine, so this kind of says a price on here for that bung wrench, just so you guys get an idea. I just went to a store we happen to have that, happens to have that, so that helped out. So, alright, let's get to the barrel. Alright, like I said, this is a 55 gallon drum, and I've already had this laying for 2 days, or sitting, I'm sorry, with some Tide in there and water. Kind of let it in out about 3 times, it varies, and then I just let it sit there. I mean, not too much, maybe about this much in the barrel, so that way you can still move it by yourself, or with help if you need be. And so, you know, of course the trick is, how do I get everything out of it to turn upside down and get dirt and everything on here. So I have concrete and dirt. So what I did is got a table right here, and I kind of got a idea of it from a friend of mine. And basically I'm going to lay it on top of there, and I'm going to show you. It kind of made things a lot easier for my back, for many of you out there. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to rock it back and forth. Now the other thing I did do is, when you have both caps on here, lay it on the side and roll it. That's what I did in the first day with the Tide in there and water, and I just rolled it maybe 3 times, rolled it 3 back, so it's getting everywhere. And then I stood it up and I let it sit there for like 2 days. It just kind of felt better than I would shake it up. Alright, so another thing I wanted to show you guys, I just told you guys, I showed you those bungs, the screw-on caps right here. Now remember I said there's a wider, I'm forgetting the grooves. I keep forgetting the word. Well, you'll see these right here, and let me get it close if I can. So I know lots of people want to see, and I'm the same way when I see a video. Anyways, on these barrels, let me see if I can get, I apologize. On these barrels, the same thing applies here. Let's see. me point this down. Bear with me, folks. Okay, like here, you'll have the thin grooves for your the cap. So the thin one will go here. Your wider ones, let me see if I could zoom in on this so you can see it, will be there. That's how you'll be able to tell how to go in. You see that? There you go. So this right here is a wider grooves. On this one, on this side, this is the thinner grooves in here. So I also have a cap that goes over that, by the way, just to protect the top, but it's not a big thing. It just came with it, so no big deal. Okay, so I got you a little close up on that. All right, so let me get this on the table. Hopefully you guys can see here. All right, so it doesn't matter which side you're going to have the hole, the hole here where the caps go 1, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. All right, so as you can see, I have kind of a, not a blanket, but something similar on the table. It's just a plastic table right here. And you want to get something like this that you don't mind getting dirty or wet because the barrel is going to roll off. So this actually helps here. So like canvas. It's shooting canvas mat that I have when I do my prone shooting. But anyways, it helps out. I can throw this on dirt or anything. So as you can tell, it's holding the barrel. So let me get this a little closer in for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm rock it forward. I already had some water in it with that tide. So as you can tell, it makes it a lot simpler on the table. I'm just angling this. So let me get your wider view. You guys pretty much get the point. I just kind of want you guys to see. Like this is a one-man operation here, so helps out if you don't have somebody at the moment. So all I'm doing is tilting, and then I'll push the barrel back. And if you have to, lay it at the edge with the hole here, so you can just push it down. Even though this gets wet, who cares? It's actually doing its job by not letting the barrel fall off the plastic table. All right, so I'm just pouring it onto my lawn. Tide's not going to do nothing to kill my lawn or whatever. Half dead as it is. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, you can take a hose. I have this spray washer right here, so it's basically wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in there. This is what I did in the first one. So just put it in there. Like I said, you don't want to put a ton of Tide. I just put like maybe a fourth of a cup, and a small cup, just regular fourth of a cup, and then put it in there. So right now is basically what I'm doing is you're not going to fill the whole thing. Because remember, you got to tip it. So if you fill too much water, you're not going to be able to tip it. It does get heavy even though it's on the table. I'm just going to do enough. And by the way, I did the top right here. As you can tell, when these things have shampoo, you can tell right here, you'll get some shampoo on there still. So I'm going to still clean that when it's empty, and then you can use a rag or a brush, and it'll get the rest of the shampoo off. You can't see it here, but there's some residue. So you can see right here, starting to come out. So I filled it from top a bit. So I'm just letting it come out as much as I can of the soap itself, or the Tide. And basically what we're going to do is, I'm going to tilt it in a second, but I want to get as much as I can until you start seeing the water a bit more clear. And then that way it'll be a lot easier when you tip it over instead of doing it like 100 times. Some people ask me how many times. I can't tell you. You just, depending on what comes in your barrel, what they contain in it. I've read it's barbecue sauce with some companies, animal shampoo like mine did, pickles and others. I can only imagine the vinegar and all that in there. Others. Now, the black ones I've read actually, that they come in with some the plastic ones. I'm not talking about the metal ones, with more toxic type chemicals. Read up on it. It's what I read. You can, it's always a good idea, regardless of what me or anyone says, to always do more research. But I would personally stay away from anything that's any kind of toxic oil or whatever it is. Even if you're getting a deal, you can clean those and know how to do it. Great, go for it. But I would stick with the ones like this that come with, that are filled with shampoos, or that were used for that, or that kind of stuff. I feel much better about it. Okay, so it's starting to kind of clear out a bit, but still, we got more in there. So this will help you out without tilting it. You can shake it left and right as well, side to side is what I'm talking about. And the more I get out right here, the better. If you put too much shampoo or Tide, there's already, I got a good tip from the guy in the warehouse when I got these. Even though they were dry, there is residue on the inside walls of shampoo, because that's what they kept on there. So when I put, even before the Tide, when I put the water in there, it activated that. So of course it'll be coming out like this. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like I said, this video is just for a lot of people just to get kind of started. Once you fill up these barrels, you guys want to think about this. This is a 55-gallon drum, so do the math. 1 gallon, it's going to be about 400 pounds. So unless you want to keep it on something with wheels that can hold that weight, and you can move it at a moment's notice, that's something to think about. You want to cover them, I would say, not so the public can see them or something. You always, why advertise to everybody you have extra water? When everything goes to hell, meaning earthquake or natural disaster, whatever it is, guess where everybody's going? Your place. So unless you have remember, your water's for your certain amount of family members, friends, animals, that kind of thing. The more you have, the less your water is for each person. And then I'm going to have 1 barrel for like spare water for like shampooing or cleansing yourself off with a rag instead of just being pouring it or something like that. They do have those bags that you can hang like hot in the sun for showers, for camping kind of stuff. All right, now it's starting to clear, as you can see right here. I'll get you guys a close-up right now. Anyway, something to think about. I'm probably going to store them where it's just still on itself, meaning it's flat. I have nothing to move it. So in emergency, yeah, there's no way I'm carrying these or have time to have 10 buddies to help me. There you go. See how it's clearing up right there? So that helped me from, doing maybe like 10 times. I'm going to flip it like this at an angle. I put in everything, put in the hose in the top, let that fill so the bottom it just starts pushing all the soap and everything out. So that's kind of an easy technique. Like I said, I'm doing this one person, so I think it'll help a lot of you guys. So you can say, hey, personally, I'd rather have 2 or 3 friends here help me with this. But fortunately, it's just me. But it kind of gives you an idea how you can still do it by yourself. All right, so now I'm going to tilt it right now. But anyways, that's what you want to think about. Where are you going to store them? Definitely don't want to store them in the hot sun. Maybe somewhat shade, put a tarp or something over it or whatever you can so people don't know where you have. Depends on how you feel about it. But remember, that's how much they're going to weigh. Depending if you fill them to the top, it's going to be more or less 400 pounds. That's a lot of weight. So it's something you want to think about. And like I said, for me, what this is water at home. If I have to leave, I know it's covered up and hidden. At least I know if I can come back, depending on whatever disaster or emergency, at least I know I have water at my so-called home base, even if the house is flat on flat on the ground. But like I said, no plan's perfect, but be prepared. It's old Boy Scout motto. All right, so now what we're going to do is tilt this. Now, it's getting a little harder, so what I want to do is start putting more in the edge of the table. So if I'm having trouble lifting it, to tilt it. So what you want to do is go off the edge of the table and just turn it. That way it's going to use its own weight so you can tilt it a lot easier. There we go. If you have it all the way back, it's going to be more difficult. As you can tell, there's still plenty of shampoo in there. It's coming out all white. And I'm sure it's not just the Tide, but the animal shampoo, because there's still residue. So what you could also do, once it's less, lean it against the table. Who cares if this canvas gets wet? And now you can just lean it because it's less weight and get as much as you can out. And all we're going to do now is just fill it up again. I'm not going to bore you. I don't know how to fast forward and do all that great editing on my videos like some guys do, and I have awesome videos. But anyways, this is what you're going to do basically to clean it. There's a million methods, I'm sure, to clean it. This is the one-man method that I'm doing. I already did another barrel. It's great. It's perfect. I smell in there. I have it in the sun, just drying. Very, very tiny bit of water. Of course, you can use a siphon or something, a pump, extract the water and soap and everything too towards the end. That's always a good idea. I have one of those too. When I finally get my pump on here, I'll do another video and demonstrate how that goes in. There is an inexpensive $15, $16 pump. It kind of looks cheapish a bit, plastic, but seems to do the job. I've heard some people complain about it a little bit. For the most part, most people don't. Obviously, you want your pump to work. I do have a small one. I'm going to demonstrate that one too. I've had from Harbor Freight. I've had 4 of them. They've been awesome, and they $4 or $5. Can't beat that. You got hose on one side, hose on the other. So I'll do a video on that. Main thing is that you get your water, because when it's standing and it's full, you can't tip that baby over. So anyway, so I'm going to finish up with a video in a second here. That way you guys get bored, because I mean, hell, I'm just watching a barrel. Anyways, we're going to tilt it again. So I'm going to go side to side because it's too heavy for me to lift it back. Probably could, but why hurt myself? Well, each time you do this, look, the water's getting clearer and clearer. So, there we go. When you finally finish doing this and the water's completely clear, I just scoop some of the water in my hand. Tasted good. So, like I said, know what's in your barrel first before you get it. I wouldn't be doing that if I knew some harsh chemicals. I wouldn't even have the barrels for them. Might as well use it for target practice. Alright, so I'll show you guys the bung wrench. Definitely needed for those. And I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to take the camera here and show you guys how that works. So, don't mind me. Okay, actually, let's use this one right here. Pardon all the shaking here. I'm just carrying this camera. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys both those that have the thick and the thinner. Here we go. Alright. As you can tell right here, here's your both holes. Now as you can see, this is thicker right here, as I was showing you, and I can get you a better close-up. Now look at these two. Here's the thicker one with the grooves. That's what I was trying to remember. And here's the thinner grooves. So if we were to put the thinner grooves, just so you guys know if it'll fit, kind of sinks in. Will it close? Let's find out. This is how the wrench works. Pretty simple. You can all monkey figure that out. So yeah, it kind of does. Let me see if it'll do it all the way tight. I'm doing this one-handed here. Alright, it won't really tighten up, so you want to get the right one. So in case you guys are getting these, just kind of keep that in mind. You know, I'm learning this myself. I didn't even notice until later on when my buddy told me before I picked them up that, you know, one's threading is thinner, one's thicker. Why is that? I couldn't tell you. It's probably something the company does, whatever they do, depending what they have contained in it. Now, this thing's a little soapy, so I'm having trouble getting it out. So let me see. There we go. All right, so we're going to put the one with the thick grooves or wider grooves to the one with the wider grooves here on the inside. So you can tell it fits in. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to get them confused like I just did, but I used my knife to get it out. So this is the way it works. Look at that. Has a rubber seal on it too. So that's tight. I didn't do it super tight. Now here you're going to get the one with the thinner grooves and the thinner grooves in here. That's what's going to go in here. You just put it in there, turn it with your hand. And this tool's pretty easy to use. I mean, but it's necessary. I mean, and like I said, unless you guys can make something, I'm sure you can. I don't have the tools and machine stuff to do that, so I had to go out and get the tool. Alright, so to get really tight, that's all you got to do. So there you go. Your pump would go right here. So depending what kind of system you want. So there's my 55-gallon drums. And blue. This is my last one I'm going to wash. There's the one on the table right here that I was showing you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. I hope it was informative for you guys. Remember, I'm not no expert on this. Just kind of showing you guys easier ways to wash these barrels. There's a million ways, I'm sure. This is just a one-man method I'm doing. And the tool, of course, and the brungs. That's the name of them. So, alright, this is Ghost Chin 3 signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click on the like button, please. I'd appreciate it. Helps out. And also, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas, something I didn't know on these, hey, tell me. I'd love to know, because this is not a big field of mine. But I know enough that I'm storing water for emergencies. Take care, guys. God bless and be safe.